All right, and welcome to my weekly English lesson that I prepare and present for live students, but we can still go over some of the parts here, even though it's not one-on-one. I always start by sharing what I did this week, which was going to an Astro Park. So let me show you the little video from this day, and it goes like this. And I asked my students, tell me, what does astro mean? We went to an astro park. Based on what you know from that, uh, what you know from the word astro, anything that you've seen that part in a word, a prefix, based on this, what do you think the word astro means? As you can see, we were in this big dome. They showed different constellations. They taught us different aspects of what's going on out there, the heavens above. By now you've probably gotten it. All right, so that's right. Astro means star, or actually the word astron. It's a Greek word. It means star. But when you see the word astro, it often just refers to something above, outer space, some celestial part of our galaxy. And then I ask, what is the difference between astronomy and astrology? Based on the definition, and then I'll put it into Google Translate on whatever language my student is speaking to see, did they get the word correct? If I give you the English definition, can you tell me the difference between astronomy and astrology by telling me the translation in your native language? Astronomy being the scientific study of stars, planets, and other objects in outer space, and astrology being a belief system that suggests a connection between the positions of celestial bodies and events. So that one's less of the science. The science is astronomy, and astrology is more about like horoscopes, what animal you are, what kind of characteristics you have based on the position of the stars when you were born. The bonus word of the day is astronomical, although astronomical literally means something about astronomy. It's used to just mean an extremely large number. I might say there's an astronomical amount of grains of sand on all the beaches on planet Earth. And then knowing those words, these are all people. So what is an astronaut? What is an astrologer? What is an astronomer? Go ahead and look at them quickly, try to match them. I'll tell you the first one. Astronaut is C, a person who is trained to travel in a spacecraft. Astrologer is a person who interprets celestial patterns to predict human affairs. That's A. And astronomer is an individual who studies or practices the science of the stars. Since we're talking about Greek and prefixes, and we know that ology or logy is from, it means the study of. So take the root part of each of these ologies, if you will, and match them to the English phrase that refers to the same thing. So study of something. A lot of people get this wrong, so I ask them to be very careful. I'm going to go through them all. biology. Some people see animals right away and they say, oh, animals, because they know that they studied animals in biology. But no, bio means life. Biology is the study of life, which includes animals, but also plants and mushrooms and eukaryotes, proeukaryotes, and bacteria and whatnot. So the next one is geology, and that's the study of the earth, right? Graphy is story, so geography is like story of the earth, just as biography is a story of one's life. Psychology, psycho is mind, right? Psychology, psychological, psychoanalytic, psychedelics. Sociology, this one's pretty easy. It's society. Sociology means society. And if you read them all, you would see, oh, zoo, that's probably animals. And you would be correct, right? Zoology is the study of animals. We know a zoo is a place to see animals. The last two left are technology and ecology. Technology goes with skill or craft, while ecology is the study of the environment. You see things like eco-friendly means things that are good for the environment. So we're talking about some Guinness World Books of Record. And last week we talked about some pretty difficult feats like juggling Rubik's Cubes and solving them in midair. That's crazy. If you wanted to break a record, don't go for that one. Go for this one, the Guinness World Book of Record for sock monkeys, individual sock monkeys. They do have to be handmade. You can't buy them. A museum in the United States broke a world record by showing 2,098 sock monkeys. Again, that's not that many. You could get your friends together to start hand making some sock monkeys. I think this is a beatable goal. Let's take a little look real quick right here, and let's take a look and see.
An Illinois woman sets a new Guinness World Record for a toy with ties to the state line. At 6, we told you how Arlene Oken collected more than 2,000 sock monkeys over the last 16 years. She actually created a sock monkey museum in Long Grove. That's a northwestern Chicago suburb. 2 judges and an expert witness from Guinness spent all day counting, cataloging, and taking pictures of the stuffed animals. Arlene now holds the record for the world's largest collection of handmade sock monkeys. Congrats to her. Nelson Knitting Company right here in Rockford started.
So, I mean, it's impressive, of course, to have. I don't have that many sock monkeys, but it's beatable. I imagine this is the first person that presented the record to Guinness World Book of Records. I assume somebody's going to beat this because it's doable. You'd probably need a lot of people. I don't think she had to personally hand make them herself. I don't think she would have been able to prove that. So anyway, this is actually a speed read. So go ahead, read that. I already read half of it, but the purpose of these questions that follow are really easy. I'm going to give you like 10 seconds, read this, and then I'm going to ask you questions. All right, and then we go through the questions. The questions are easy, but you only have like 3 seconds to answer. What did the museum in the United States display? A, 2,098 sock monkeys. What did the museum break by showing 2,098 sock monkeys? A world record. B. You got to try to answer the question before I read it. This is a practicing on speed because sometimes you get stumped. Remember, we learned the word stump last week. To be stumped is when you spend a lot of time on a question. Sometimes you're taking an exam. You spent too much time on a question. You have too many questions left to answer, but you don't want to just guess. So you have to do your best at just speed reading and just read and just answer so quickly. So imagine you're in that situation. Answer quickly. Here we go. Who came to the museum to confirm the record? A, 2 officials from Guinness World Book of Records. What is the significance of the number 2,098 in the story? B, it's the number of different sock monkeys in the collection. What do you think a sock monkey is? A sock monkey is a monkey made from socks. A. And why was the event at the museum special? It was the largest display of sock monkeys ever. That's B. The next one is a cyclist. We're going to watch a little about that one too. Here we go. I'm not going to watch the whole thing. We're just going to watch a little bit.
Source. Differently, and to be specific.
This guy
backwards.
Yeah, and Will had just returned from a 7-day, 500-mile trek across Iowa with 30,000 other riders, but he was the only one to do it while looking the other way.
Let's do it. Ready? Will Walker of Alaska loves to ride his specially made BMX bike backwards. Why?
I'm biking
Look at
backwards
those legs. He's
because
got
it's easier.
huge
You sit
quads
upright,
because of
it's
it.
good for the
He says it's
quads.
easier.
Easier is so subjective, but get this. Just last week, Will biked all the way across the state of Iowa.
I just did the Ragbri. It's a 500-mile.
So you get an idea, because you're going to read this, you're going to maybe have a hard time picturing it. He sits on the handlebars and pedals. Yeah, I think it would be really difficult to look back, kind of, you're twisting your back, but maybe he alternates on different sides. Let's go ahead and read this. I'm going to be quiet and let you read this, but I'm only going to give you about 30 seconds, and then we're going to ask questions. Speed round. Ready? Go. Ten more seconds. All right, next question is, what did a man from Alaska do that was unusual during reading his bike? He rode it backwards. The correct answer is A. How long was the man's bike ride? 500 miles. I like to ask, what's longer, a mile or a kilometer? The answer is a mile, right? It's 1.6 kilometers. And where did the man from Alaska look while riding his bike? The correct answer is A, over his shoulder. And why is the man from Alaska sending evidence of his ride to Guinness World Book of Records? B, to get the record for longest distance cycling backwards. Now, if you remember from last week, there was a boy from China who's only 16-year-old. He has the Guinness World Book of Record for the most jump ropes in a minute, the most skips. He's got this unique position that he does it, but he had actually had a higher score earlier, and he had it videotaped. He recorded it and uploaded it to TikTok, and they didn't recognize that. They saw it and said, okay, we'll come and watch you. And then he wasn't able to get that same record. He still beat what was the record, but they didn't actually accept that. So I have a feeling this guy might not actually get the Guinness World Book of Record because he recorded it himself. They want to make sure it's not edited, because I think you can't fall or get off or stop and push your bike up the hill or anything. You have to be non-stop. They might need to verify it. This would at least get him the opportunity to prove it. And again, he did 500 miles. The last record was 209, so he should be able to do it. But I'm really wondering, will they let him? So go ahead. Next question is, what is the current record for the longest distance cycling backwards? I think I just said that, but the answer is A, 209.77 miles. Next one is, how did the man from Alaska learn to ride his bike backwards? He decided to try it just for fun, actually. And who set the previous record for the longest distance cycling backwards? The answer is someone from Australia in 2013. Next one we talk about. First, the next Guinness World Book of Record has to do with s'mores. I talk about what are s'mores. I show a video of s'mores. They're graham crackers. What is a graham cracker? I know here in Thailand, very difficult to find graham crackers. I show them pictures of cheesecake. Cheesecake is also, it has the graham cracker crust. So that's how people often know that. Marshmallow, you can, and chocolate is melted. So I like to give them this. We'll give you 30 seconds. I'll read it out loud, but I'm going to read it quickly. A s'more is a popular treat in the United States, especially enjoyed around campfires. It's made by sandwiching a roasted marshmallow and a piece of chocolate between 2 graham crackers. The heat from the marshmallow melts the chocolate, creating a gooey and sweet combination. The name s'more is short for some more because people often want to eat more than one. They are commonly made during camping trips, family gatherings, or outdoor events, and they are loved by both children and adults for their delicious taste and fun way to make. Real questions: what is a s'more? Answer is C, a treat. Why is it called a s'more? The answer is it's short for some more. A, what are s'mores commonly enjoyed, or where are they? B, around campfires. And what happens to the chocolate in a s'more? B, it melts. Who typically enjoys s'mores? The answer is C, children and adults. And then we go into the Guinness World Record, and I'll show you this short video. We'll watch the whole thing. It's only 30 seconds.
S'mores-a-palooza, the most s'mores grilled and eaten all in one evening. Solo Stove, they put this thing together and make it an unforgettable night for everyone.
Toast your marshmallow, assemble your s'more,
Right.
and then eat the whole thing. The mark to beat was 801. And today, you had
The tension could be cut with a knife right now.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump to that. And this is a company in Texas wanted to break a world record. So they gathered 891 people to make s'mores at the same time. They brought 500 small fire pits to a place called Grapevine to try for the record. Before this, the record was held by a group of Girl Scouts in Tennessee who gathered 801 people to make the tasty treats with toasted marshmallows and chocolate on graham crackers in 2018. The Texas company's event was called S'mores-a-palooza, and a person from Guinness World Records was there to check if they really did break the record. They did it just before National S'mores Day, which is celebrated every year on August 10th. So I must say, on this one, I'm thinking, okay, that the first time it was probably set for the first time, because again, I think this is actually easily beatable. And they went and beat out some Girl Scouts on a camping trip. That's kind of seems like, you had to go and do that. And they only got a few more. I'm pretty sure somebody could gather up 1,000 people if they wanted to and beat this record. So go ahead and do it. The questions are, what did the company in Texas gather people to make? Obviously, the answer is A, s'mores. How many people made s'mores at the Texas event? The answer is 891. And who held the previous record for most people making s'mores? The answer is B, a group of Girl Scouts. And when is National S'mores Day celebrated? The answer is A, August 10th. And what was the Texas company's event called? C, S'mores-a-palooza. And what did the company use to make the s'mores? The answer is A, 500 small fire pits. And the last question is, what are s'mores commonly, where are they commonly made? The answer is B, during camping trips, family gatherings, or outdoor events. One of the reasons is it's easy to take and go with you because you can put it in a plastic, or graham crackers come in a box, marshmallows come in a bag, and chocolate are in bars. So it's dry, easy storage. You bring it with you. It's messy, so you don't always want to make s'mores over your stove. You could do it with an electric stove or a gas stove, not an induction heater stove though. But if you do, it often falls. It falls off the fork or the long skewer that you have, and it gets messy. So this is a great treat for camping, and I'm going to end with that. I hope you enjoyed this week's lightning fast English lesson. All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye.